Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 23 of my recombobulation countdown to my birthday. Uh, Today, I am heading up to the area where I was born and spent the first 17 years of my life, basically living in the same house. We moved just a year before I went away to college. But I am joining an old grammar school friend of mine, and I guess we all get to say old grammar school friend of mine. He was a year ahead of me, but he will be going to his 50th high school reunion at the all-boys high school that he attended, where my ex-husband attended. And before I met my ex-husband, there was this whole group of guys that I hung out with before I met my husband. So many of them will be there. One dear friend in particular who lives on the East Coast. So it will be at that special time where we all come together and go, oh my gosh, we've made it this far, and some of us didn't. And behind all of the chit chat, I know that conversation goes on in our heads as we're going, wow, it's 50 years since I graduated from high school. That you just recount, like, how did I get here? Who am I in relationship to anyone else? And does it even matter? So it will be fun, and it will kind of be an extended opportunity over the next few days to hang out with some of my dear friends from high school. Many of them are willing, they go deeper than that with me. It's not just the superficial chit chat, but those that no matter how long the time has been in between the time you last saw them, you pick up right where you left off and have that authentic relationship where there are no real expectations. I listened to something the other day, and I thought it was interesting to ponder how when we are in relationship with people who have expectations of our time, then we're always in anxiety trying to live up to their expectations. And then we have those friends or people in our lives that it doesn't matter where or how much time there's been in between. You're authentic and you just pick up where you left off. And what they pointed out was how interesting it is that rather than spend more time with those people, we join into the angst and are then worried about, oh, I need to call so-and-so so they don't get mad at me. So we often turn our backs on the people who are authentically closest to us, trying to satisfy the expectations of the unrealistic expectations of those. So it's not about being responsible and connecting with those when you've made a commitment to connect with them, but it's just noticing that difference of how so much of our life is put toward meeting the expectations of others. And this opportunity that I've had to be with my oldest daughter and her family, it always expands me being here because I have an 11-year-old grandson with autism. And over the last couple of days, he's had an incredibly difficult time. Not all the time, but when he goes into meltdown, it is severe and challenging. And he had a real challenging morning where we managed to somehow get him in his room. And then I sat in front of his door on the inside of his room and just sat there with my eyes closed and let him have his meltdown. And he was doing his very best to try to get my attention to rise up to his expectation and his level of energy, where he wanted me to feed the adrenaline that was triggered in him. And instead, I just did my best to stay calm, to meditate, to fill the room with love, to just love him, send him love. Because if you've ever looked at the work of Dr. Emoto and crystals of water, that waters that, he magnifies pictures of water crystals, and the water to which you pray over or send love or say good thoughts or bless or say how wonderful water is, it forms the most incredible, almost like diamond, emerald diamond, snowflake diamond crystals, images. And when you magnify the water over which you have poured hate and said horrible things, then the picture takes this really distorted, ugly, black, decaying appearance. And we as humans are 70+% water. And I hold that belief that the more I can stay calm, the more likely it is that he will be calm. The more I escalate, the more he will escalate. Because kids on the spectrum, we think, oh, they don't have any compassion, they don't have any feelings. My experience of these wonderful kids is that they feel more than the average person does, and they're more sensitive, and they're hearing it all at the same decibel, and they just can't sort it out. Their sensory system can't organize it quickly enough. And yet, these are the kids to me that hold great intelligence and great gifts that we need, because we've been attempting to conform when they are attempting to think new thoughts, or manage all of the thoughts. So I sat there, and it took a while. It took that time that none of us seem to have. And then even driving him to school after he was calm, I looked in all the cars and I talked to my grandson about it. I said, all of these people are in such a hurry to get to work, to get to the airport, to go visit someone, to deliver something. And my experience is that the greater majority of them are just in overwhelm. They are wishing that they could have the meltdown that my grandson dares to have. So I am questioning, as I recombobulate, what is my role? What is it that I as one person can do? Do I give up my work to come be of support to this one little guy who I know, in my odd, unique way that probably isn't like many people do it, that I can connect to him and we can get in a groove where we can build that bridge? Or today, I don't know what the next step is. I just know that in order to allow the next step to come, in order to allow the answer to come, I need to stay out of trying to figure it all out or being afraid, and continually just telepathically send my little guy and his whole family and all of the families like his who are dealing with either cancer or autism, or families who are confronted with Alzheimer's or neurological other disabilities. Shower them with love, because to me, love really is the answer. I just need to know when and how to plug it in. And until then, I do it the best way I know how, which is just to live from that place and believe that it's possible, and open and expand to being present for those people who are too busy to be. I can't rescue. I can't even help. I'm doing my best to listen for the places that I can serve, because to rescue makes someone less than. To help someone makes me more important, as if I know all of the answers. But to serve and be present for, that's what I do somehow that doesn't fit on a business card. Um, but that's the gift I bring today and always, I guess, in my recombobulation. So enjoy your day. Shower love as you drive through the freeways and stand in line at the grocery store. And I'll look forward to our next time together.